couple of days ago, I posted a video about this SRA Supervision register that ensures law firms are compliant with the SRA Code of Conduct 2019 paragraph 7.1. Now I'm posting this video to actually show you the production ready version of this platform. Now this platform that you're looking at, I built it specifically for the video, and then thinking back, I thought to myself it'd be a lot more valuable if I show you the ready-made system. What you're looking at now is the production ready version of the SRA Supervision register. Now what would happen is the SQL database will be built. The database is what enforces the compliance. So there's no room for error in terms of from a human or any AI agent or anything like that. Once the compliance is set in the database, it is set. Logs cannot be edited, amended, or deleted. Everything will be policed from the database. Once that's in place, automations and this front end connects onto that. So in the first video, I went into a little bit more detail and I showed you a bit about the scripts that is used to build the database, and also the actual N8N workflows that works with this front end. Those stay the same in terms of what I showed you in the first video. Now, you hit the main dashboard. Law firms are able to add their fee earners. Fee earners are anyone within the business, so solicitors, paralegals, people like that, that charge clients for their expertise. They are what you would call the fee earners. So the fee earner details will be added into the system in terms of employee code, name, their role within the organization, within the firm. That will be added to the database. I've added some examples in here just so that there's some information to demonstrate. Here is, I'll say, the second most important thing, and this is where the supervision events are logged. Now in the first video, I demonstrated how will log a supervision event in terms of putting in the firm ID, event date, their ID, their name, the junior solicitor, for example, their ID and their name, and then whatever case matters and outcomes and additional information that's needed. Once that is logged, that is permanently logged and cannot be altered once written to the database, which ensures, as I've put here, that is in line with, as well as the paragraph 7.1, is also in line with ISO 9001 2015, which covers documented information. So once the supervisor logs the event, that cannot be changed, but it could be fully audited. In the production ready version, that's right here. And also there's a nice visual log for all to see displayed here on the front. Now going along, the system also allows for solicitors to add assignments. So assigning a solicitor to maybe a case, or a senior solicitor to be a supervisor to a junior solicitor, for example. And again, that details is in here, or that details can be added here, which is then updated on the database. And then you've got client matters or case matters, etc. Now, the real gem of this actual system and what really gives the value is the auditing query. So an inspector can come on site, usually expecting to be there all day or maybe 2 days, going through SharePoint folders or email threads or even paperwork if login supervision is done on paper where they sign and it's in a filing cabinet. That would be their normal expectation. But with this system, you sit them down, you log them into your portal, they'll go onto the audit page. Let me just click reset here. And all they need to do is run all audit queries. Once they run the queries, and what the query is that the system queries the actual database and comes back with a result. Now, this production ready template, I added information in there so there is some visual stuff to see. And as you can see, nothing that I put in is compliant. But what you can see is the areas in which it audits. Now, for the benefit of the video, I have created a demo of what a successful report looks like. So let me just log in. I'm going to pretend I'm a SRA inspector, and this is going to be a scheduled inspection. Right. So initiate the audit, and this is what a successful compliant audit report looks like. So the inspector will walk in, click run audit. They'll be presented with a score. As you can see, my score for the information that I put in for the benefit of this video was a flat 0. But in terms of the demo, demonstrated how it's highly compliant, 91 out of 100. And then I've also added into the system, just like here, when the inspector runs the full evidence pack, you can see the different areas within paragraph 7.1, the different areas where it's compliant. So if I scroll back up to the top, we've got the score of 91 out of 100. And then when it comes to the, let's go back up here, when it comes to the readiness score, it shows that it's compliant to the paragraph 7.1, ISO 9001. We go down. Oh, before I miss that, so this readiness score, 91 out of 100, so highly compliant. Then number 2, we've got the current supervision coverage map, which falls under the paragraph 7.1A and B. We scroll down and we've got the supervision event history, falls in line with paragraph 7.1 primary evidence. We've got the supervision register, so the overdue supervision register, which falls in lines with the escalation risk. Now it's identified that there's one overdue supervision event identified. So the report, the actual audit report, identifies and adds some additional contents in terms of how many days it's overdue, etc. And then you've got the other areas like the matter level supervision audit, which falls in line with 7.1 matter evidence, and the supervisor workload distribution, which falls in line with the resource adequacy. So now you have the inspector with a click of a button having a full overview of your compliance with regards to the supervision register. They could just print off the evidence pack, add that to the files, and that's it. Audit. Now you've seen the production ready version of the SRA Supervision register. This is the one that actually goes out to businesses. It may get tweaked here and there with regards to falling in line with their branding if they so choose, but it's a case of they taking the code and implementing it into their own system, along with the NA10 workflows and the SQL scripts to build their compliant database. Once all that's set up, in the future, all their audits will consist of the inspector coming in, logging onto the system or being given access to the system, going to the audit page and running the audit report, being presented with a score and a clear understanding of how compliant that particular firm is with regards to each section of paragraph 7.7.